What's up? My name's Dan from Dan Gillespie Fitness Coaching, and today I'm going to talk about programs. I touched on programs previously in one of my other YouTube videos. You can check that one out. All you have to do is hit subscribe at the top if you want to. If you don't want to, that's fine. Give me a like if you want to. If you don't want to, that's also fine. So we're going to talk about programs, how to structure your programs. First of all, we're going to start with, if you're new to fitness or you're just getting back into fitness, what approach should you take when it comes to your programming? So the approach I would take with new clients and people that are just getting back into their fitness is a linear approach. And a linear approach means we start on muscular endurance and we work all our way through all the way to muscular strength and power. And we phase through. So you start on endurance, you work into hypertrophy, then you work into strength, and then you work into power. This is the linear approach. We break it up. We have 4 weeks on endurance, then we're tapering to a hypertrophy. 4 weeks in hypertrophy, then we taper in to strength. 4 weeks in strength, then we taper in to power. Once you've completed all phases, with good testing the whole way through, see how our body adapts, we loop back round and we get back to the phase that we performed best in as fast as possible. This is the linear approach. This is the basic way to start off if you're getting back into things or if you're starting altogether with training. It's a good way to do it. Then we look at someone that's training for performance. For example, if you're training for a marathon, or if you're training for an endurance event, a cycle, a swim, a triathlon, an ultra marathon, whatever you're training for, an endurance event, we would use the reverse of that, which is a reverse linear approach. This method means that we start with strength and we work our way back to endurance right before game day, or event day, marathon day. So we start on strength. The reason we do this is because we want to strengthen our joints up right at the beginning of our program, get everything nice and strong, ready to pound those pavements. Then we work into muscular hypertrophy. We build some lean muscle, we get nice and strong in our muscles, and then we work into endurance so our muscles can keep going right before we're about to hit our main event. We're in an endurance phase. We're about to smash it and we're ready to go. It's a great method if you're training for a marathon or if you're training for a long distance event. Then we have our athletes or professional athletes or just people that want to be working hard every bloody day of their life and train like an athlete. We would use another method which is called undulating daily. So if you're a rugby player, then an undulating daily approach to training is the best way to do things. And this means we're switching between the phases of training every single day, because a rugby player needs to be in good shape all of the time during the season. In off season, he can go into a different approach, but during the season, the best method for him would be a daily undulating approach. You can emulate this by switching between muscular endurance, muscular hypertrophy every day, or you can switch between muscular hypertrophy and muscular strength every day. Or if you really want to, you can switch between all three: muscular endurance, muscular hypertrophy, muscular strength, back to hypertrophy, back to endurance, back to hypertrophy, back to strength, and keep undulating daily. This is what professionals would do in a sport like rugby or American football or boxing. They'd be doing this every day. They'd have their strength programs, they'd have their endurance programs, they'd have their hypertrophy programs. They'd be working on all of it. And that's because they need to. And you can do this as well if you want to, if you really want to step your training up. Another method you could do though is you could do weekly undulating. And weekly undulating is the same as daily, apart from we switch weekly or bi-weekly. Bi-weekly would be the best way to start, and then you can change to weekly. and then you could switch to daily and see how you get on. If you want to try training like an athlete, this is how I would do it. So start with bi-weekly, do 2 weeks on endurance, then 2 weeks on hypertrophy, then 2 weeks on strength, and then go back to hypertrophy, and then go back to endurance. And do this for a few months and see how you get on, and then you could switch to daily or weekly, and then switch to daily after that. I hope you found this interesting, and I hope you found it useful. Consider subscribing if you want to. Thanks again.